Hello everyone, my name is Rohit Singh. Welcome to the channel Developer Geeks. Well, this is the current playlist of C++ programming, and we are trying to cover the topics from beginner to intermediate and to expert. Well, this is a very important video which is on the topic of arrays. Now let's jump into the C++ compiler and let's see how does this array works. Well guys, now let's see what are arrays. Arrays are one of the very important topics that you can easily create an array, right? But you have to understand how you can manipulate data within an array, because array I will tell you what is array within a few minutes, but arrays are oftenly asked if you are in an entry-level programming, and in your it's also asked in placements, because arrays are some of the very important thing, but it is a crucial thing that people often ignore, and the constant practice within an array will only make you master in it, right? So basically array is nothing but it's a continuous storage, right? It's basically a user defined, I would consider basically it's a non-primitive data structure, right? Non-primitive data structure are nothing but they are the collection of the primitive data structure. So in an array, the syntax is that you will write the data type first, then the array name, right? Then after within the square bracket you will write the size, and then after in the curly brackets you can add the data, and you can separate the data using comma, right? So this is basically the syntax of writing an array. So array is nothing but the collection of similar data type, right? If the data type is an integer, then you can have the collection of integer data. If it's a character, then character. If it's a float, then float. Similarly, you can create many arrays, right? First, let's create an array of integer. We will write the name int a, and we will write the following arrays to it. We will write the following numbers to it. Basically, this is called as a one-dimensional matrix. They can be two-dimensional like this or three-dimensional like this. So we will understand first the single-dimensional. We can write random numbers 12. I'm just writing random numbers, guys. Yeah, super. Now let's try to print the size of this array by using the size of function, and let's see what kind of value it is printing. You can see 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. There are 10. Okay, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. Actually there are 9 numbers within that, right? But it is printing 36. Basically what it is doing is that it is just multiplying 9 into 4, because every single number is taking 4 bytes of space, and there are total 9 numbers, right? So in total it is taking 36. But what if I have to know, right, how many numbers are there in this array? You can count, right? So basically there are 2-3 methods that you can make and use. First is this one, right? As I gave you the example, it is printing 36 directly. Now what if I divide the 36 by 4? If I divide, you can see 36 by 4, it's printing 9, and I know 4 is the size of integer, right? So I can write divided by size of integer, because I'm using the integer number, right? So we'll get to know how many elements are there by using this whole method. This is a popular method to know the number of the total length. We can write len equal to this whole thing now. Super. Now what we will do, if we have to print this whole array, what can we do? What we will do is that for integer, we'll create a for loop which will start from 0. The reason is because the first element, this is the element, this is the value, right? So and the position of this element is 0. It always starts from 0 to n-1. So this is the n-1, right? Because it is starting from 0 and there is total 9. So this is the 8th position. So what we'll do is that from I to from I should be less than equal to len. We have taken the len here, right, which is nothing but 9 for right now. And then after we will keep on incrementing it, and then we will write cout array of I. Array, this is the array, and within this we will write the position, because I is nothing but the position, right? Now let's try to print and let's see what does it give. Yes, you can see it is printing 12, 27, etc, etc. Now what if we exceed this? Suppose we write 20, which is out of the box, right? So you can see it is printing garbage value after the actual range. It is printing garbage value, you can see, and it is not printing an error. This is called as the logical error, right? It is printing, but it is printing something that is not accepted. Now let's try to write another way of writing the array. This is a standard method, and I will let you know something of an unusual or a very easy and simple, but people often don't use much. That it is a for loop, but we can write auto I. Basically auto is a storage class that we will see in the next videos, because there are many storage classes, and auto is one of the auto is nothing but automatic, right? So it will automatically take the data type of this variable, right? Auto I semicolon a, right? Then after what will happen is that we just have to print I. That's it. Now it will automatically, I is not the position here. Now I is the element here. Okay, auto is a storage class. It will automatically consider the data type from A, and it will traverse itself. You don't have to give any limit. It will auto generate the limit, and it will print every the values. Yes, it will print the values. You can see, yes, it is printing the values, right? It is a simpler way of you printing or traversing the number or the whole array. Now let's try for a character now. Character, and then we can super. Now we got the length, and then after we will print this. We will remove the we will remove this code. Now let's see what it will print. It is printing Rohit. So basically an array of character is nothing but a word, or we can say string, right? Therefore an array or a sequence of this characters, if we combine this, is nothing but a string value, right? So this is how we can create a string. There's all either we can write this whole thing, and instead of this we will just can write Rohit in double quotes. We don't have to even mention this braces too. If we write this, it is equivalent to this whole thing, because it is sequential, it is in order, right? Now let's try for a float number. And let's try to print now. You can see it is printing. Actually I am not given handle. Now let's see how does it prints. Yes, you can see it works for every single data type, guys. So let's conclude this. What is an array? Array is nothing but a continuous sequence of similar data type. It should be similar, right? And when it is stored in the memory, it is also stored in sequential order, right? If there are many memory spaces, right? And if suppose 1.4 is saved in a particular location A, then 32.5 will be saved in the next location of 1.4. Similarly, every single element will be stored, right? So there are many disadvantages of it. If I give you an example, like if I enter the value of 30, right, and there are only this many elements, so what will happen to the remaining numbers? So that number will be, is a wastage, right? So basically this is called as a static allocation, right? Now this, what I did is that I have given the number, I have took the length. Now what if you have to enter the number by yourself, right? So what we can do then, we will write cout how many numbers you have to write. Simple, right? We will take int n, and instead of, we will take integer here also. Then after, we will take the number from the user and save it in the variable n. Now what we will do is that we will run the integer from I equal to 0 to I should be less than n, right? And then I plus plus, and then C in array of I. In the previous section we saw that cout array of I, it was printing the value. In here it is taking the value. Now let's see, we will copy this, and instead of cout we will write, instead of cin we will write cout now, to check that is the value actually added in the array or not. If it is added successfully, we will write a message here, added success, yeah, that's it. Now let's try to run the code. I have to add like 6 elements. Now let's keep on adding 12, 32, something. Yes, added successfully. And how many numbers? 1 2 3 4 5 6 elements are added, and it is also printed successfully. So guys, this is how you can take values in array by the number. If you are not mentioning the size, then there is no limit, right? And then you can print it in this fashion. Well guys, that is from my side. If you find this video informative, don't forget to like, share and subscribe to our channel. Well, the next video will be on the topic of character sequence. Character basically means the alphabets, individual alphabets. If you write those alphabets in a sequence, that basically means a string, right? A particular word. So how we create and what are the data types we can make in use to create a word? Well, stay tuned guys, we will see you in the next video.